Here's some surprising things we learned about Cuba during our trip to Havana a few years ago. Learned how simple and easy it was to go to Cuba. Now, for us, we went on a cruise at the time. We went in 2017, so you could go on a cruise at that time. That's no longer available today, but despite the travel restrictions in place by the U.S., you can still go to Cuba. One thing I learned is that the Cuban people really love Americans and they miss American tourism. Now, because of the embargo that's still in effect, they're not able to get car parts and various things that they need. So they have actually learned how to work and fix stuff anyway, despite all that. So sometimes you might be riding in the Chevrolet, but it's actually got like Toyota parts or something like that on it. Pretty cool. You can't visit for tourism, but you can go for like 12 other categories. The main one or the best one is probably the support for Cuban people category. That's like the best option, because using that category, you can then set your own itinerary. Also, just so you know, you can't stay in state-owned hotels in Cuba. You have to stay in either casas or Airbnbs or something like that, but you can't stay in state-owned hotels as an American citizen. Also, as an American citizen, you have to save your itinerary for 5 years after you come back from Cuba. So remember that, to save your itinerary. In case somebody might ask you, may or may not. You never know. Anyway, many American airline companies do fly to Cuba. I don't know if many people know that, but many American airlines do fly to Cuba. Usually you have like a layover in either Houston or Miami or something like that. And then a word of warning, they often run out of essentials like toilet paper and medicines. So bring your own if you can. And then also, no U.S. issued card, debit or credit, will work in Cuba. So bring cash and be ready to exchange it for a Cuban peso. And the exchange rate is pretty good for American dollar. So let us know in the comments if you're interested in going to Cuba. See you on the next trip.